Okay. Okay, we're heading back towards the surface. The chute should activate once we're 1,000 meters from the ground and in safe atmospheres. That chute's gonna activate, right? Right? Like, we are heading towards the ground. This is either gonna end very badly for this kerbal, or is it gonna end very well? The chute didn't activate. I don't think that was the same rocket I designed, because my rocket should have activated at 1,000 meters. I blew her up. Well, that kid's blowing a girl a new meaning. You're literally moving outside of my view. Ah, sucks. Something went terribly wrong here. Ah, sucks. That's the best you got. Your coworker just got blown into a million pieces. Hello everyone, I'm Echo, and welcome to Kerbal Space Program. This is a game I haven't played on the channel yet. This is a fun little game where, well, it takes the saying, it's not rocket science, to a whole nother level, because it is rocket science. You're building rockets in this game. Fairly accurate, kind of, I think. I think the way, like, the style itself and how you build them, like the different things you need to do to make a working rocket that can go to other planets, is the same, but I think there's a few oversights in like how rockets actually work, because there's a lot of internal stuff going on. But this is a fun little game, I should say. I did technically say this in yesterday's video, but that video never went up because it was poor quality. Like, it's the first time I've ever scrapped a video because it's such poor quality. Like, there was just nothing to it. So, yeah, that ended up getting scrapped. I should say, Tuesday, I will have my save file situation fixed. Not before Tuesday, so I can play Tuesday's game. On Tuesday, my save file situation, 99% sure it will get fixed on Tuesday. I'll get what I need on Tuesday. It will be fixed. And for Wednesday, I'll be able to be playing the game that's properly there. Also, I'm going to be making some changes to the schedule. I'm not going to talk too much about it for right now. That's going to be something I'm going to talk more in depth about later on. But for right now, let's go ahead and start the game. I believe there is... well, that doesn't leave very much hope for my kerbals. That is what they're called. I believe there is training. Now, in a lot of games, if the tutorial is... Actually, no, typically I do go through the tutorial because it usually has some backstory and other stuff, or it's just integrated fully into the thing itself. Probably should do training first. Okay, so this is going to move me through every single step all the way to the moon and then back, and it's going to teach me a little bit about these things. So I think this first episode is going to be training. I'm sorry about that, but I've tried to play this game before without doing the training. I can't do it. I can kind of maybe do it, but most of the time I only get so far before it gets out of hand. Okay. Basic construction. Leonard van Kerman. Welcome to today's lecture on construction. I'm Leonard van Kerman. Kerman. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna say it. Kerman. Whenever you want to put a satellite into orbit, make I don't know that word at all. Flight. Or step onto the very surface of the moon. You are going to need to build yourself a ship. It should be pretty easy even if you're not a famous rocket scientist like me, okay? In this tutorial, I will first show you around the Kerbal Space Center, then take you into the vehicle assembly bay, where you'll learn how to construct a simple ship. We'll cover adding and removing parts, what the parts do, I missed the there. How to change the performance settings of the parts which have that option, and how to control staging. At the end of the tutorial, you will have a craft fit for quick hopping from the launch pad. At each step, I will lock out all controls other than the ones you need for that step. To change focus on tutorial menu, tutorial, window use, R1 and triangle. You can press X to change to proceed to the next step. If you manage to mess up, it took even me some time to become skilled as I am. Now, you can press back to go back and fix things. It won't light up unless you do mess up. Okay, so the tutorial's not going to let me move forward if I accidentally put the cockpit under the engine. Kerbal Space Center. We are now at the Kerbal Space Center. I'll give you a quick rundown on how to get around. The KSC, for short, is home to the pinnacle of Kerbal endeavor and achievements for space exploration. Using the facility you can see here, you will be able to manage your space program, create rockets and planes, track your Kerbal explorers as they roam the solar system, find exciting new uses for explosive substances, yes, I read that correctly, in case of emergency. Hire more Kerbals. Is the explosive substance experimentation and the hiring more Kerbals kind of related? Am I gonna blow up some Kerbals? That would be fun, but I don't think I should do that. To find out about each of the facilities, you can select each facility icon. If you need to repair a structure or upgrade them in career, you can do this by pressing square while selecting them. Take some time to select the buildings and see what each of them are. And when you're ready to enter vehicle assembly, building VBA. Okay. Facility is locked, so I can only see each thing. So, astronaut complex. Okay, we already read about that one. The official flag, or we could change it. Damn it. Launch pad. That's self-explanatory. Runway, self-explanatory. Space plane hangar. The space plane hangar allows the construction of spacecrafts designed to be launched from the runway. A space plane's a real thing? Like, are there planes that can actually go into space? Tracking station. At the tracking station, all ongoing missions can be viewed and focused. Launch crafts may be recovered from here as well, and that's good. I'm probably gonna need to recover quite a few crafts throughout this series. Vehicle assembly building. The VBA is where... Okay. And I believe he said go here whenever I was ready. Yep. Okay, let's go. Hey, there's the music. Very good. What you see in the middle of the screen is the construction area. This is where parts are placed and your craft is constructed. On the left side of the screen is the parts toolbox. It will show you all the parts you have available in each different categories. Once there are any to pick, that is easy. Can you stop moving your little box? Love the noises he makes. If you want your craft to be controllable, you need a command module, and it's best to make it the first part you place. This part will either contain some plucky Kerbal crew or an automated pilot mechanism. Maybe we should start with the pilot mechanism and not the crew, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna end up nuking the crew. That Kerbal just got ran over by another truck and didn't give a shit. Can we check that Kerbal, make sure he's not like Superman or something? I forget what Superman's name was. As we are just starting, there's only one choice. Go ahead and pick the command module from the pods tab. Okay, easy enough. After at least one part is placed, you can look around with the following controls. Pan camera, okay. Orbit camera, okay. And then zoom camera. Okay. And then R1? No, oh no, wrong thing. Is that R1? Okay. I'm having enough trouble figuring out how to select the dialog box. I'm not gonna be able to build a rocket. After at least one part is placed, you can look around with the following controls. Okay, yeah, I already read that. Christ, these freaking monologues. if you'd like your pilot to be able to make more than one flight, he or she will have to return safely to the ground or water on Kerbin. Parachutes are a simple way to make sure that happens. So I'm not allowed to leave them on different planets to repopulate. Is it repopulation or just population at that point? I think it's just population at that point. They can be found on the utilities tab. No, okay. When you're choosing parts, you can view the details and available parts by selecting them in the toolbox. When the info is visible, most parts have additional information windows which can be opened by pressing square. Note that the parachute states the effective demeanor in each state and what the maximum speed for deployment is. Go ahead and select the by pressing X on it, the moon. Okay. You want me to select, I think it's this utilities, right? It's utilities. At the parachute. There we go. Okay. There we go. And there we go. Some parts like parachutes here have configurable options. To see these, we need to show the cursor by pressing and then pressing parachute just attach the pod. Do that now. Let's see available parameters. Okay, there's the cursor. And pod, okay. On the parachute, you would see adjust our altitude and the atmospheric pressure at which to open. The setting can be quite useful on different worlds. Okay, so that would be a situation where I would probably scan the world first before going on to it. For now, let's check that open height on the chute is at least 1,000 meters because safety is the kerbal way after all. For minimum pressure slider, move it a bit to the right to 0.2. The same prevents the chute from activating until the atmospheric pressure is above the configured value. On kerbal, 0.2 is about 9 kilometers in altitude. So even if you stage early and arm the parachute, it will wait until then to activate. Okay, so that's useful for if you screw up your pressurization. Oh no. Only goes down to 0.4. Oh no, 0.02. That's 0.04. There we go. Got 0.02. No, 0.2. Just 0.2. 1,000 meters. Yep. You can hide these options or. Okay. Good. Okay, and close that. Close. I want this to be closed. Can I? There we go. Got it. Next up, we are going to need something to make us go. Press X on the engines. Okay. Got one connected to the bottom. Engines. Ooh, okay. Thumper. I think that's it. Whoa. Holy crap, that's bigger than what your dad is. Oh. Okay, and I think I can select everything like this. If I do this, select everything, move it up, and nope, that's how. There we go, zoom out, because I need a bit more space to work now. Okay. Nope, wrong button again. Am I not pressing? No, I'm definitely pressing triangle. Oh, it's R1 then triangle. That's confusing. Usually it's both of them at the same time. Oops, I forgot we're just starting out. You're not a famous rocket scientist, and to make a craft survivable, as it stands, now you have to be better at rocket science than me. Haha, impossible. The problem with the craft is that the solid rocket is too powerful for the payload, a single small pod and chute. It will either burn up on ascent from going too fast. Oh, shit can burn up? I didn't know that. Or burn up coming back down. I did know that. Even if you survive that, the craft's mess will cause it to fall too fast for the parachute to operate properly, and you'd hit the surface before it could stop you. Okay, I promise to teach you how to change that to make it work in a later tutorial, but for now, let's continue. No, at least this way we can tell you about removing parts. Show the cursor by pressing on, and then pick up the back thumper. Drop or in parts toolbox. So this, then you want me to sell it. Alright? Yep, I can move forward, so yes. Instead, let's add the solid motor that's a better match for a ship this size. At the start of your career, you will have what I consider rubbish parts, literally. The motor here looks like, and May will be. I think there's an as missing over there, and may as well be a converted trash can. That said, it does have enough oomph to get this little craft moving skyward and quickly. As you progress, you'll be able to unlock more engines and other parts. For now, though, let's pick up the RT5 flea and connect it to the bottom of the pod. Okay. There's the flea. Aw, that's cute. I'm gonna call this pod the flea. I think I can name it here. Yeah, I can. I want to call this the flea. Don't shoot me if I misspell flea. Okay. Oh shit, that's a big amount of stuff. Nice one. You built the simplest survivable craft possible. We could go launch this right now, but it might be safer if I explain one more thing first. In the bottom right, you will see the staging stack. It's a box with the number 0 icon for the parachute and engine in it. This stack shows which parts will activate as we stage our rocket. When this shows is that when we activate the next stage, both the engine and the chute will be triggered. While it could be considered fun to open the chute and fire the motor at the same time, it's not going to give you much of a flight. To fix this, we need to separate the engine and chute into 2 stages. To open the radical menu and select edit stage, you will see a little plus and minus appear on the left of the box. Press X on the plus button on a new stage. If you add too many, press X on the minus button. Okay, so instead press this. Edit stages. Oh, this is a much easier way to do this. Okay, manage selected. Add a stage, and then you want me to move. Oh, you don't want me to remove anything just yet. You just want me to do that. Excellent. It's important to note that stage activated from the highest number and then count down. So our first stage will be 1, the engine. Our second will be stage 0, the chute. Now move the icon from stage 0 down to stage 1 to give our pilot some comfort. Do we have to? I don't want to. Okay, move it. No. There. Okay, got it. Excellent. It's important to note that the stage activated from the highest number and then count down. So our first stage will be stage 1, the engine. Our second will be stage 0. So now move on. Okay. I had them backwards. Stage 1 is chute. Stage 1 is engine. Stage 0 is chute because it counts down, but that's not the order these are in. This. Oh, no, I don't think I can do that. Can I? No, I can't do that. See what I mean, though? That's a little confusing because it goes downwards. Oh, wait, did I switch them? Yes, no, I didn't. I'm confused. That's it. Now we have a safe, well, relatively safe craft that's ready to go. Let's make sure if we need this design again, we don't have to build it all from scratch. At the top of the screen, you see, okay, you want me to entire spacecraft does seem so majestic. We don't need to be something more style. In that description if you like to. When you use load screen later, these names and inscriptions help you grab the right vessel. Use pause when you change the vessel's name. When you're happy with the name, use pause when you save it. Pause. Save. And we got the flea. Save. Okay. Save. Did that save? No. Save. Save craft. I'm confused. It's not working. Oh, and change on flag. I'm good for right now. Yeah, problem, it's not letting me save. Maybe I have to, like, actually rename it. Maybe I renamed it too early. Flea, that's what I wanted named. And then save. Then move forward. No. Yeah, the music's very appropriate here. What the hell do I do? It's not letting me save it. Do you want me to enter a description? V? Maybe for this first one I have to enter a description before I can save it? Is it saved now? No. The freaking menus aren't supposed to be rocket science. Why isn't it working? Oh! Oh, I had to, like, actually change it. Okay. That didn't work. Feel free to play around with the parts and techniques I've shown you. When you're ready to continue, use by menu to exit, back to train menu, try flight basics. Okay. Done. Done, 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 done. Done. Okay. Let's in scenario. Yes, let's head back to the menu and try flight training. I want to try and get through as many of these as I can. Gene Kerman. Hello, Gene. You're very bald. So is our pilot. Is our pilot a chick? It kind of looks a little more feminine than Eugene. Or do I have that ass backwards? I'm not sure. Welcome to the Kerbal Space Launch Facility. I am Gene Kerman, and I will teach you the basics of piloting a spacecraft. I trust you already checked basic construction tutorial. If not, I recommend you do so before going through this one. Today, we will run through all the important controls of your spacecraft. Our little hopper is from your basic construction is lesson with may not have all of them, but we will do a full run through once and see how it flies. Okay, I named it the flea though, not the hopper. Flying a spacecraft is all about being in control of in control of a generally very chaotic situation. As a pilot, your main flight controls will affect your pitch, yaw, roll of the ship. Let's look at those first. All the other controls be locked in. Okay. Pitch, yaw, and roll, 3 different directions to help you visualize. Here's only snap of the. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Pitch, yaw, roll. And that's how we see how to rotate these directions. I think I know this. You control your ship's rotation while using these controls. Pitch up and down, left and yaw left and right. Roll left, roll right. Makes sense. Control pitch by rolling. Keep ship in control. Try now. Oh, yep. That's how you control the pitch, yaw, and the roll. Okay, there you go. Throttle plus pitch, yaw, and roll are the main controls you need to master for a successful crash-free flight. I'm not 100% about that, but if That's what happens, that's what happens. We'll skip over throttle control for now, as this also has no need for it. Don't worry, I'll explain it another time when it's of use. Wait, how the hell is the vehicle gonna move if I don't use the throttle? Remember that all these controls have limited amounts of effectiveness, so bigger, heavier ships will probably respond much more sluggishly to controls than small little ones. It's also good to keep in mind that as stages are separated from the ship, it will become lighter, and this will usually mean easier control. Next, let's look at the rest of the flight controls. Oh, Christ. In flight, all the planning you put into the stage sequence of your ship comes into play. From launch to final deployment of the descent parachute, you can control the activation of several of the ship's parts by activating next stage or launch. Notice the stage indicator in the lower left corner. It shows the currently active stage. Since we haven't launched it yet, it shows the first stage as active. I have your staging controls locked for now, so the stage indicator is glowing purple. Okay. One more thing on staging. If the staging is set up is causing strife, or you change your mind about something, you can edit stage sequence on the fly, pun intended. Oh, on the fly, pun intended. No need to go back to assembly facility. God, I miss that. I'm kind of tired, so, great. I'm performing rocket science while I'm half asleep. An important part is knowing how your ship is orientated and where it is going. This is what a good pilot is always aware of: the ship's altitude, where it's pointing, and its velocity vector, where it is going. These aren't always the same direction. As your skills improve, you should pick up on these. The big round instrument on the lower center of your screen is called the nav ball. This device sums up most of the central information needed for a proper death-free flight. Not every flight will be death-free for me. Here you go. To see the ship's nose is relevation. I think that's the right word. To the horizon. When you're not pointing straight up, it's easily visible as lines between the blue sky and the brown ground, as well as its heading, compass, bearing, and speed. Okay, as you also get several icons that indicate things like your current velocity vector, but we'll have to look into those later. Okay, oh Christ, so much reading. In the top center part of your screen, you have an altimeter, vehicle speed indicator, and atmosphere gauges. Okay, those all make relative sense. Altimeter, clever. So one's altitude, one's speed, and one's how far up the atmosphere we are, or down the atmosphere we are, depending on what we're doing. The altimeter will show you distance from the planet's surface at sea level. This means the actual surface may be much closer, so watch out for the ground when landing. Your vehicle speed indicator shows how quickly your altitude is changing. When launching, it is considered the best way to keep the gauge pointing up. The atmosphere gauge indicates how deep the ship is in the planet's atmosphere. You love to go deep in the atmosphere, don't you? This helps you know if the ship is high enough for orbiting without losing speed to air resistance, or judging how effective wings and control surfaces will be. Okay, fuck. One last thing before we get this rocket the green light. In the staging stack, you can see the indicator for your parachute. Yes, I can indeed. This indicator shows when the chute will be activated. By staging, you already know that, but the ground will also cause colors to indicate when it is safe for the staging parachute. The foreground of the parachute is a bit of the icon itself, will change color depending on the parachute stage. Note, however, that by default, parachutes will not deploy when unsafe, even if you stage them. Okay, interesting. Left 3 shows safety, safe risk, and unsafe to deploy. The chute is unstaged white in the left 3. The right 3 show stage after armed deploy and cut/shred. When you are familiar with the Q icon colors, you can move on. That entire thing kind of confusing. Okay, so if it's gray, it is safe. If it's brown, it's risky. If it's red, it's unsafe. If it's blue, it's armed. If it's green, it's deployed. If it's red, we're fucked. Because that means it's cut or shred, and that probably means we're going very quickly towards the ground. Okay, enough talk. I'll unlock the flight controls, and you'll be clear to launch. At any time, you can press options to pause the game. In the pause menu, you can restart the flight, or in this tutorial, choose in scenario, and return the main menu. For now, get yourself prepared, and when ready to launch, don't forget about our hopper is only solid rocket motor, so there is no throttle control. That's why we didn't review the throttle here. Make sure to fly in nice high arc. Enjoy the flight. Yeah, maybe you should have just so you just want me to launch. You don't want me to control throttle. Okay, makes sense. I shouldn't be allowed to control that. Okay, launch. Oh shit. And up you go. You can try practicing some of the controls like we discussed. Okay, also keep an eye on the parachute icon. Staging list that shows you how safe the current environment is for chutes. Once it goes red, it won't deploy until it's clear again, even if you stage it. I'm sure you'll manage to use all these control schematics in no time. You'll see whether the crews can join you in the lower right corner. I don't care if the crews can join it. They don't get a choice. Anyways, I'll hang around and watch. Okay, so... Okay, and that's that. So we're just gonna make our pilot absolutely throw up. Holy crap, look at this thing go. Look at the nav ball. Holy crap. Okay, control it. We're going down. No, we're still going up. We didn't leave the atmosphere, did we? No, we're going down, I think. I can't get control of this thing. I'm trying, but I don't really have any control of this thing. Oh, wait. I'm regaining control. Don't worry. Please don't puke in your suit. That's probably gonna be disgusting. No. Okay, we're heading back towards the surface. The chute should activate once we're 1,000 meters from the ground and in safe atmospheres. That chute's gonna activate, right? Right? Like, we are heading towards the ground. This is either gonna end very badly for this kerbal, or is it gonna end very well? The chute didn't activate. I don't think that was the same rocket I designed, because my rocket should have activated at 1,000 meters. I blew her up. Well, that kid's blowing a girl a new meaning. You're literally moving outside of my view. Ah, sucks. Something went terribly wrong here. Ah, sucks? That's the best you got? Your coworker just got blown into a million pieces. You might want to try to stay alive when on actual missions. I wasn't the one in there! I'm like a deity right now watching this happen. And actually kind of causing this to happen. Don't feel bad, I'll send someone to clean that up and you can try again. Make sure to fly high enough to go slow enough for the parachute deployment, and make sure you remember to stage it to arm it. I think they just tricked you into killing a coworker they didn't like. None of your police sirens yet. Hello again, glad you could come back. To get started, go ahead and enter the lab, and I'll give you an overview of what we're building today. Are we not going to talk about the fact that I'm pretty sure some of your coworkers tricked you into killing another coworker they didn't like? It's honestly something I should be concerned about. Here we are again. Now to business. If you remember, in our last construction tutorial, we covered how to build a simple hopper and some of the basics of the construction area. In this tutorial, we'll expand your knowledge of some of the more useful features in the VAB, and we'll build a more complex craft that will be able to get us out of the atmosphere. Okay. To build our new design, let's start with the craft we built in the basic construction tutorial. Though this one is just called Hopper, this will save us a little bit of time, and accounting department is always happy when we save on time. How are we saving on time? We're having to rebuild it because the... Right, deity, I can just spawn it in. Okay, if you mess up this you can recreate the crowd from the... Okay, that's fine. Delete, fail in place, you can load and open it again. Okay. Oh, you want me to remove its flea motor. Oh, but then that removed... Why is it called Hopper? I called it the Flea. Flea 2, technically. Oh, you freaking cunts. Unlike last time, we won't be bringing the whole vessel back, so we can change our parachute straight stats from what it used to be before. Use cursor by pressing on the... Hold on, wait. Unlike last time, we won't be bringing the whole vessel back. There wasn't any vessel left. Change our parachute stat, cursor menu, and the parachute and verify its deploy is at least 1,000, and on the way... And the minimum pressure slider is way to right, 0.75. Atmosphere that composites on an altitude on Kerbal about 2 kilometers, which means much shorter time hanging around during descent. I don't think that Kerbal was hanging, but they were something. There we go. Minimum pressure. 75 is max. And then 1,000 meters, at least time. Okay, good. First off, let's change the name of our craft and the description if you want, so you still have our trash can for special on later. Okay, gone. I want to name this Big Flea. Yeah, Big Flea. Because I didn't get to keep the name of my previous project, you twat. Simply change the name on the hopper, then we can proceed. Great. For this craft, we are going to give the ship some additional purpose by attaching a science experiment. We can run these experiments during our travels and get valuable science data for kerbal kind. I need to turn the music down a bit. I would be a little bit more in the background, can't exactly hear myself. These numbers, there are a number of science experiments to be performed, but at the moment we only have the mystery goo container unit available. Switch the science tab to look at it and use one of the most basic scientific experiments kerbal scientists have designed. One of your first things they want to try and understand better. I mean, they don't even know what color the goo is. Are we sure it's not an alien? Might be an alien. Yeah, you're not gonna know if you don't open the container. Okay, you want me to spawn one? Just attach it to the pod anywhere? Easy enough. Hello again, glad you could make it back. Today we take an extra step guiding our first kerbal into space. Yep, with a capital S. Hopefully you remember the controls we discussed in basic flight tutorial. You can only place from okay, let's go. Your mission today is a short suborbital, less than orbital flight out over the water to the east. It is a nice path to ensure a genuinely survivable routine. Try straight up, straight down is not so good for survival. I've set the pink target indicator on the nav ball as aim point. But do note that this is not the case for normal missions. The target marker is normally used for other things and does not help with ascents. Starting with less noise, point straight up. Start with the nose point straight up on the launch pad or 90 degrees elevation from the east horizontal. Tilt east on the nav ball by start 50. Okay. Tilt east 70 degrees. Burnout in space. Have a look around. Prepare for retain. Lastly, retainer and safe landing. Once you reach burnout, i.e. run out of Parliament, we will have a bit more of a time discussing other things. Unlike the hopper in our first lesson, this new craft has liquid fuel engines, which means we can use the throttle to set the output power of the ship's engine. The throttle control is controlled by the following buttons: up, down, throttle max, throttle cutoff. Okay, try these out, see if the indicator and slides up and down. Okay, throttle max, throttle cutout, partial, up, down, okay. Fuck. SAS stands for Stability Augmented System. That's not augmented. Although Kerbal astronauts usually refer to it as Sickness Avoidance Schematic, okay, system. Whatever it stands for, what it does is try to stop the ship from spinning around using the computer-controlled auto torque drive comparator technology to constrict something like that. The rotation of the ship. It is simple mode that will keep the ship aligned with the orientation you have turned the ASC. When you turn the ASC on, SAS on, or if you pitch, yaw, or roll, SAS is on the orientation when you release the controls. As can be toggled by pressing O. Another way to toggle is by pressing to open the activation radical menu by selecting SS. If you have problems following the maneuver, once you're able to know that, you can press that to open SAS radical menu. There you can select target mode at your 9. Alternatively, you can use the cursor by telling to press on small red button on the left of the nav ball that has a miniature target indicator. It's lower left of the buttons that will cause the SAS to follow the target indicator and fly for you. Note this autopilot function will not be available until you are flying. Okay. Next. This craft is a bit too much engine, so we're going to throttle down for launch. Set your throttle to 3/4, the upper 2 middle notches on the slider. No, 2/3. There. So turn control. Turn on. Will keep you pointing where you're supposed to be pointing. Okay. SAS. Okay, there we go. No, I don't think that was the right one. Right there? There we go. During this lesson, some of the information is quite detailed and can take a while to read. As a short subterranean hop, and I don't want you to miss anything important, I'll place a warning at the top of the pages when you might want to pause the game to read. The warning will look like this. Warning detail if necessary. Okay. I'll do that probably. Okay, enough talking. I'll unlock the rest of flight controls and you'll be clear to launch. At any time, you may press options to pause the game. In the pause menu, you can restart the flight. Enable the target nav ball. Give it a look to make sure you can see it. Yes. Let's get ready to fly this candle. Let's get ready to light this candle. Maybe not the best words for this poor guy. I blew up the last one. Don't check your throttle is 2/3, upper 2 middle notches on the slider. Indeed it is. and says enabled, then hit X when you're ready to launch. Remember, start turning at 50 ms. Okay. And we're turning that way towards the sea. Okay, I think I got it. It didn't work. We're going to keep the rocket beyond space. Trio let the SAS keep the crowd safe for a while you accelerate further. Now go ahead and throw up to full power. Gotcha. We're really cooking along now. As we get up to the higher speeds, you might start to see some heat effects, but we'll be clear in the atmosphere before it gets too hot. Okay, pause. Gotta pause. Great work. You succeed in getting your ship on a trajectory bound for space. I've now set your target indicator to align with your velocity vector that will minimize drag by turning the smallest side of the vehicle into the airflow. Somewhere around here, you will be able to see the nav-ball speed indicator. I'll switch from surface to orbit, accompanied by the speed number jumping. Go ahead and switch it back to surface mode by pressing that, toggle your cursor over, and to toggle your cursor mode, and then press X until it says surface again. You might have noticed some flickering flames near the end of our burn there, which is due to high speeds of your craft in the atmosphere. Normally our ascent would be a little slower, but I'm sure my friend Winner has helped you build a ship that can withstand this heat. No, he really didn't. He's a bit of a cunt. Winner to help you build a ship that can withstand this heat, and besides this high and this slow, you'll be fine. If you want to have a look at your trajectory, you can switch on the map by pressing that. You can also send it through the radical menu to have a look around your projectile path. Just remember, come back to flight mode again. Okay, so we should be good. We should be in space soon. Press, more. Right? No. Okay, so I'm waiting for it to say orbit and not surface. So we're gonna be floating in space next. Okay, I want you to say surface, okay. Then I should be able to move on? No. I did the surface thing. Okay, now I've done that. There we go. Now we are coasting our way to Apollos. That's the highest point in our current projectile path. We got a little time to chat. Once you clear the atmosphere, we'll go over what you can do in space. Okay, so now it's just waiting. Yeah, we're just waiting right now. So, how's your day been? Mine's been interesting. Slept a lot. Definitely slept a lot. Why couldn't that... Okay, there we go. We hit space, finally. While we float up here, beyond the atmosphere, I'll quickly tell you about a couple of the things you can do. With an advanced enough astronaut complex in the KSC, we can train our kerbals to be able to spacewalk or even EVA, although we won't be doing that on this flight. Although when we are carrying science devices like goo containers, we can perform experiments. Feel free to play with the goo containers now by opening their action menus and toggling. Okay, I'll let you know when it's time for the next phase of the suborbital flight. Okay, so yeah, okay, and then yep, there we go. Okay, no. I'm gonna select the container. Mysterious goo container. Observe mysterious goo. Snow goo. Oh. The goo seems to be clumped into a sphere. It also appears to become brittle. Okay. Oh, hold on, people. We got something. Detailed info. Okay, as we near the edge of the atmosphere, again, it's time to reorient the pod to get ready for re-entry. We are only going to re-enter with the pod and the chute and goo containers, but we are not going to decouple yet. In real missions, it's best to keep your upper stages around until the last moment. You never know when you might need it. Anyways, it's best to re-enter bottom first, since we accelerate at least 70 degrees pitch and will eventually re-enter at a 70 degrees pitch. That means you want to aim the top of the capsule at a 70 degrees angle pitch line, but the opposite heading at this is heading at 270 on that ball and 70 degrees pitch. I placed a target marker there to help you see where this line. Okay. Change your altitude and then turn back on. Okay. I want to read this. Yes. Keep experiment. Transmit data. Oh shit. Surface. Keep that on surface. Okay. Get this menu out of here. Keep experiment. There we go. Okay. No. Don't want to do that. I do. Press something. I didn't mean to do that. I just want to close the goo container. Okay, no. I don't need to close the goo container. I turned something on. No. What's that? Let's do this one. Actually, nice. Now hold steady on your altitude. Let the ASC. I didn't do anything. Oh shit. Okay. Snaz. I didn't change anything. I don't seem to have any control of anything. Oh, right, because I'm not. No. Wrong way. Okay. Oh. Snaz will keep it there. Okay, Snaz should keep it pretty close to there. Now it's time to get rid of any boosters since we're just slowing down. Stage, discard any needed parts and mass. That, okay. You're now re-entering Kerbin's atmosphere. Make sure to keep all hands and feet inside the pod at all times. We don't want you to get burnt or anything. 1, you would be cooked to a crisp. 2, I've already killed one kerbal and you didn't seem to care. Don't mind the flames. Winard is a world-famous rocket scientist. No, he's not. The last thing he had me make and use just blew up and didn't work, after all. And he's built the ship to withstand them. Last time we watched the parachute icon to wait for the right time to open the chute. This time we are going to do something a little different. Remember in the construction tutorial where you designed this vessel, you set the chute to not semi-deploy until 0.75 atmosphere of pressure. This means the chute won't perform the first of its 2 deployment steps until then, even if you activate it by staging now on Kerbin. At 75 atmosphere means about 2,000 altitude above sea level. The craft should be traveling slowly enough by then that the chute will survive deployment. So let's take the bold step of arming the chute now, and let the smarts in the pop at the right altitude. Okay. You know you can trust me. I'm not sure. Wait. I'm not trusting you. It's this kerbal that's life is in my hands that's trusting you. Okay. So it's primed. Okay. Awesome. So we'll set your chute to not actually semi-deploy until around 2 kilometers. We do look out for you at mission control, and we do need to ensure that the opening height, its second full deployment step, is correct. You can even adjust the parameters during flight, so change the cursor mode and then press chute to change slider. Don't touch pressure slider or bad things will happen. Make sure to fully deploy altitude is no less than 1,000 meters or you will not have enough time to slow down. Once you're satisfied, you just hang on until about 2 kilometers and watch the parachute trigger itself according to the settings you've chosen. While we're waiting, I want you to look at the bottom of the capsule. Note you do not have a heat shield. You do not need one because this is such a gentle flight. Actually, a heat shield would make things more dangerous on this craft because the additional mass would push the limits of the module of the parachute. Okay. So different parachutes can withstand different amounts of, well, height. Oh, we're getting some flames. It's actually going to activate this time, right? Activate SAS to make sure everything stays in place. Okay, so it should activate at 2,000 meters, hopefully. Because I'm pretty sure the ground's pretty hard, but if we land in the water, it's going to be even worse. Because, you know, water is falling from great heights. Water is not really what you want to land in, because if you don't land correctly, you're going to die. And this thing cannot land correctly. Oh, shit. 700, 600, 500, 400, 300, 200, 2,000. It activated. Yes, the chute is away. Now enjoy the leisurely float down to the surface. Okay, thank God. We're still going. Oh, no, wait. There we go. See? You're not gonna die today. Okay, can I speed? I can still spin the pod. Oh, Don't do that. Okay. We're 100 meters from the ground. There's a strange line on the ocean. Weird. 3, 2, 1. And we're on the surface. That was loud. Welcome back and congrats on completing and even surviving your first real mission. So, was the last one... Did the last one not die when we hit the ground? You managed to launch, control your vessel into space, orbit yourself correctly, land safely. Quite an achievement. If you want to practice this again, choose revert to launch from pause menu. Otherwise, in the scenario, be sure to check out tomorrow. Okay. It's really exciting. Okay. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good for right now. I had one of the tutorials kind of break, even though I think I know most everything I need to about that tutorial in basic construction. But for right now, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This has honestly been a lot of fun. Not what I had planned. I planned on playing PC Simulator, but I found out the save file I made for this to be able to play it, was gone. It was gone. I think I accidentally deleted it, but whatever. I'll have everything fixed Tuesday, and I'll be able to do whatever is supposed to be on Wednesday, but for right now, hope you guys enjoyed. This has been a lot of fun. If you did enjoy, think about clicking that box there to watch the rest of the episodes, if there is one there. That box there if you want to see what YouTube recommends. That box there to see what my latest upload is, and then that bubble if you want to think about subscribing. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed. It's been a lot of fun. If you did, be good, be well, and I will see all of you in the next one. Goodbye.